Right, right, guys and girls, we're going to try something a little bit different. Let's see if this pre-recorded shit works. Going into game week 15, guys, stick around. Let's do this brief little intro, and I'll see you on the other side. Right, that's enough of that. I'm with you guys. So, looking ahead to game week 15, and we're going to look back on game week 14 results and see if I managed to improve my position in the league or not, and if my gambles paid off or not. So, welcome to everybody who has bothered to join in. I'm sorry for all these streams and issues that I've been having. So I'm pre-recording this one. Let's see how it goes. It might be the way we go forward. I prefer doing them live because I don't have to do any editing. Not that I'm going to edit this. So if this is all in, then I clearly not edited it. But let's have a look then. Let's go straight into it. I'm going to just get my share screen up. Hopefully when it lets me. Let me just get rid of this. So let's get into this. I'm just going to share my screen and we'll go into our mini league and see how we did. Cups and mini leagues. So overall, I had green arrows, but a red arrow in our mini league because the guys ahead of me are on fire. So let's have a look. So top of the league, Harry's changed his name from, what was it, Sangare of Light to Felipe Flops, but he stays top with another strong week of 71 points. Ben holds on to his second place position as well, and Carl has overtaken me into third, which means I'll drop down to fourth. Even though I had a decent week of 70 points, he had a fantastic week of 81 points. So let's go into his team and have a look how he got those points last week. So he's got he's fair play to him. He's a Forest loyalist, so he's got Odysseus Vlachodimos in goal. He's had Ben White, Murillo as a centre back with only 2 points, but he got the 12-point haul from Trippier. The midfield, Gordon, Prowse, Ward-Prowse only a point. Saka, you saw me umming and ahhing about whether I should bring him in. We'll go through my decisions in a second. But yeah, maybe I should have got him in. Son, finally, I gave him his pep talk. Better than the one that I gave to Gibbs White. So maybe I need to brush up my pep talk to Morgan Gibbs White. But he got a couple of returns in that game, and yeah, seems to be back on form. And Odegaard's somebody who's been off the ball for a while. He's not been in even in their squad for a couple of games. Seems to be back on form. Got a good 10-point haul, and the captaincy went on Haaland. Oh, that game, he could have certainly had another assist. Should have scored a goal, which is one of the worst misses I've seen him do so far. But yeah, it could have been a lot better. But I was happy with my captaincy of Haaland, and I got the same return. And the troll, whether it's Watkins who's being the troll or his boss Emery. Well, I jumped the gun and I got rid of him. Others didn't. I think there was a couple of teams that didn't even make their transfers and left him in, and quite rightly so. He got a couple of returns again. So it wasn't obviously as injured. He started the game. In fact, he played the whole bloody game. Let me just get rid of that. Played the whole game and got a couple of returns. So it is what it is. Am I disappointed with the decision I made? Not really. And I'll show you my team in a second. So yeah, no points really left on the bench. So it was a good pick. Great week, and like I said, Carl's overtaken me into third place in our mini league. I'm just going to show you how I did. So the two changes that you guys saw me make, or if you did watch it, you saw me make anyway, was to transfer out Bernardo Silva for Mbeumo, and I panicked and I took Watkins out and brought Julian Alvarez back in. I didn't have I only had one free transfer, so I did take a 4-point hit on that. And points wise, so if I hadn't made any transfers at all, I would have been 4 points better off, I believe. So yeah, Watkins got 11 points. That's 6 points there. Plus, obviously, minus the 4 points that I would have add on the 4 points that I would have saved anyway without making the second transfer. But Bernardo Silva only returned 2 points. Overall, that was 13 points. These guys got 10 minus 4. So yeah, you can see the swing there. Defense-wise, and this is where my upcoming transfers I think are going to be made, and it's with my goalkeeper. And I talk you through the options in a little while. Stuck with Simikasi, got an assist in that 4-3 win. So obviously lost points for the goals conceded, but he did get an assist. Trippier, I've just mentioned with his haul, and Gabriel. That late goal that they conceded cost me a few points, because I believe he would have got a bonus point or two out of that as well. So yeah, very bad late goal for them to concede. Palmer didn't do anything. Let's have a look how many minutes he had. Only 24 minutes, so he must have come off the bench. I think he was injured, and he came off the bench. Gordon, at home, he scored in every single home game for Newcastle this season. But he's got a slight knock. I don't think it'll be an issue, but we will monitor that. And Mbeumo came in, could have done more, but he's steady and he's consistent, and that's why he was bought in. And he was bought in as a long term, so I'm not worried about the change, swapping him out for Bernardo Silva. Obviously, he got more points than Bernardo Silva, but he's a long term hold, and his price is going up and up. So let me see, has it gone up since the weekend? No, he's still on 7.1, but it will go up soon, and I'll show you the tracker on Fantasy Football Hub for the price changes and if he's due to go up anytime soon. And I've just mentioned Son. Salah did get a return, and Alvarez 5 points, Haaland 14. Left points on the bench for a second week in a row with Lascelles. I'm not playing him at the moment, and I'm leaving points on the bench. So he has a few points. I think I could have been 9 points better off overall if I'd made the right decisions. But how can I be upset with that? It's a 70-point haul, a game week rank of less than 1 million, which means I do move up in rank. And I will talk to you about maybe in a later stream, guys, and we'll talk about how game week rank is important as well to see how your overall progress has been throughout the season. And as you can see, I took the -4 hit. So it's technically 66-point haul for last week, or last game week. Possible changes to be made, but I might just hold on. So let's have a look at the fixtures for this game week coming up, game week 15. And obviously, it's very quick turnaround. First game is tomorrow night. Let me just double check that it's on. Yeah. So running along the bottom of the screen, you can see the transfer deadline ticker, and when you've got until to make what time you've got until to make your changes. So let's have a look. The games. So opening off this next game week will be Wolves and Burnley at 7:30. All these games are on Prime Video, guys. Every single game. So make sure. I'm sure we've got some sort of deal or offer going on at the moment, but a good chance to watch your games. And then so 2 games on the Tuesday. Wolves Burnley at 7:30 and Luton Arsenal at 8:15. Yeah, so obviously Arsenal got a fantastic fixture there. Maybe worth looking at Saka for me. He's a hard one to avoid, and he's in more and more teams. But I'll show you a game week ranking as well and how it's gone on. big game for Forest as well, but I'm not going to go into that. You can watch FFTV if you want to see my opinions on what's going on at Nottingham Forest at the moment. A lot of change. Sheffield United got a lot of change as well. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but looks like Heckingbottom has been sacked, and it looks like Chris Wilder will be brought back in to finish off his unfinished business, if that's the right term. Yeah, so quick turnaround in the game week. Lots of games going on. Big game between Man U and Chelsea and Villa, Man City. Do I want to jump back onto Watkins? Maybe not against Man City. I think I'd prefer Alvarez against Villa, even though Villa's home record is still there. They're still unbeaten. I think it's like 13 wins in a row they've had at home. But I don't know. Fancy Alvarez to get something, so I might just stick with him for this game week and then look at the next game week coming up. And then Thursday night we've got Everton, Newcastle, and Spurs, West Ham. Son's back on form and at home. I really do fancy him. So let's have a look at what my possible transfer decisions could be, and what I'm looking at. Looking ahead, because there's a lot of games in a short amount of time, and we've still got the blank game week in game week 18 to think about. Now, money-wise, it's looking really healthy. 2.7 million in the bank. But I only got one free transfer, and I do want to be able to carry over a transfer and have either do. The goalkeeper is the issue for me, and these are the options that I'm looking at. So Alisson Becker, as we know, got injured, and Kelleher came in, and Kelleher didn't look good to me at all. But the other major goalkeeper injury news was injury to Pope on the weekend with his shoulder injury, and that's a reoccurring injury for him. And even conservative estimates are saying he could be out for 2 to 3 months. So with Dubravka coming in, who's at 3.9 million, I believe. Let's have a look at the goalkeepers. Let's search for him. Dubravka. There he is. Yeah. 3.9 million. Let's go into his fixtures. The next set of fixtures look really good. And this could be a budget goalkeeper to get into your team. I was thinking more the other way. I was thinking more going for a premium goalkeeper. And with those two options, I'd be looking at Raya at Arsenal or Sanchez at Chelsea, with their fixtures coming up as well. But I am tempted by this Dubravka move. The issue I've got is I'm already tripled up on Newcastle United players. But the fact that I'm not playing Lascelles does tempt me into making that change. But there's not many defenders at his price level that are getting minutes, and we still don't know what's happening with Botman. We don't know how far away he is. So with this busy fixture run coming up, Lascelles will get game time. So do I want to get rid of him to bring Dubravka in, or should I go for my premium goalkeeper? Because there is points to be made there. I've argued against it all season, but the fact of the matter is, let's have a look at Areola's team selection. He's in 40% of teams, but most of those are active teams, I think. And I think people are fed up of him and are ready to jump off him, to be honest. And his price might be dropping soon as well. So might be worth making that move sooner rather than later. But I'm also thinking ahead to the second half of the season, where I will be using my bench boost at some point, and I do want an active keeper in that second place. So more likely, I might keep Areola and upgrade Turner. And like I say, I've got the money to do that. Let's have a little play around with it. Let's get rid of him, and let's look at our goalkeeper options. So the top two, you can see the top two point scorers on as goalkeepers are both out injured. Onana, is Onana an option? Let's look up their fixtures over this festive period. No, the first, well, two of the first three don't shout out to me, but he's going to be looking at clean sheets. He's still dodgy as well. Yeah, I don't think he's an option for me. Maybe later on, looking at game week run from game week 20 onwards when it's got the mighty Forest, possible. So no, Onana's not an option for me. Johnston's really not an option for me. Crystal Palace don't keep clean sheets. Leno, again, we don't keep clean sheets. His points were from penalty saves and the amount of saves that he does make. So the two options that I am looking at are Sanchez and Raya. Where's Raya? He's not. Yeah, there he is. 4.9 million Raya, and I think he's due to go up in pricing. So we will have a look at the Fantasy Football Hub price changes tracker in a little while. So Raya, let's bring Raya in. What does that leave me? That leaves me 1.8 million in the bank. The reason I'm thinking about what I've got in the bank is I will eventually be going back up to Watkins. I don't think I can make that change. No, hang on. See if I can bring Watkins in. I don't think I can. I think he's. Oh, I might be able to. I've got 8.8 in the bank. Let's see what. Yeah. See, I can make that move back in a couple of games. I certainly want him in for game week 18 if he stays fit. I'm happy to not have him in these next two games because they've got Man City and Liverpool, I believe, or not. Man City. No, sorry, Man City and Arsenal in the next two games. But then they go to Brentford, and then the game week 18 where there is a blank for Haaland and obviously all the Man City players and Brentford players. And he's definitely a captain shout for that game week. So I would be looking to get him in back in at game week 18 at the very latest. I'll keep an eye on his price as well because I don't want to lose any more money in trying to bring him in. But I might, unless I see massive changes in his prices, I'm tempted to certainly not bring him in this weekend and not against Arsenal either. Although they're both home games, like I say, and Aston Villa's home record is unbelievable. They are the top two teams in the country in the league at the moment, and then that's no guarantee of winning, whether it's at Villa Park or not. So I might leave him for the next couple of weeks, but like I say, at the same time, I'll keep an eye on his price. While I keep mentioning it, let's have a look at the FPL Football Hub tab, and there's my team there. But I want to just go into the toolbox. And guys, you can still sign up. We've still got the free 30 days trial, which I'll pin in the chat or certainly it'll be in the description, and 30% off if you do decide to take it up after your free trial. So let's have a look at what we've got. Price changes. Let's look at the price change tab. There we go. So these are the ones that are definitely going up tonight. So spoke about Kelleher. So he's going to go up to at 4 million from his 3.9. Didn't impress me at all in that 4-3 against Fulham on the weekend. Shah going up in price tonight and Mikalenko going up in price tonight. The price drops happening tonight are Matty Cash, who's dropping quickly. He's dropping like a stone at the moment. I mentioned it in the last stream, but I'd be looking to take him out anyway with the fixtures coming up, and just the way he's playing, it's not working for him. His returns have been really poor. Jensen's injury obviously will take him out. Neto's still injured, so most of these players are injuries, and if you've got them in your team, you're just losing value on them. Bowen played on a weekend, yet he's still going down in price and expected to go down by another 0.1 million tonight, which is good. I'm happy with that. I've not got him in my team, and if he's somebody I do want to jump on, even for the game week 18 fixtures, and I'd rather he dropped in price certainly. And let's see who else. So what I was looking at, Raya. Yeah. So Raya is expected to go up in price in the next couple of days to 5 million. So if it is, the problem is, or the benefit is actually that as soon as the game week starts, I can think about buying them in. I want to carry over. Basically, I want to carry over a transfer from this week, so I don't desperately need to move my goalkeeper this week. I'm going to carry over that transfer and then have 2 transfers for the next game week, which is literally before this weekend. So it's only a couple of days away. So I might hold on, but I will keep an eye on his price changes as well. Isak's potentially going up in price as well, which is again another option if you're looking ahead to game week 18. If you're just going to bench, if you're able to just bench your Man City and Brentford assets, and you've got a good enough bench to do that, that's fine. But I think most of us will need to make 1 or 2 transfers, and I still is the possibility of playing the bench boost, not the bench boost, the free hit chip in game week 18 as well to cover that blank game week for Man City and Brentford. But I will touch on that when we get closer to the time. So yeah, I mean, all these tools available on the Fantasy Football Hub are really worth using, guys. I do keep going on about it, but I really think it's been beneficial for me, and my game week ranks have been indicative of that. I think it's proved that really. Let me go back and just show you how the ranking has worked. And I just mentioned about game week ranking in as opposed to your overall rank and how that plays a factor. So let's just go back into here. So go on to status, excuse me, and go on to my team. And go on to game week history. So here you can see, guys, I mentioned in the last stream again that all season I've only had 4 red arrows, as you can see. So in game week 3, game week 5, game week 7, and game week 10. And you can see how it affected my overall rank. So this is your overall rank in this column, and it's your game week rank. They're the 2 things we're going to focus on in this little section here, and also worth bearing in mind in your team value as well, and how my team value has changed as the season's progressed. So game week rank here is basically your game week in overall. So if you have a look at the very first game week, so yeah, my game week rank was 353,784. That's where I finished. Every week onwards, if you have a particular the lower that number is, the higher you're going to move up the rankings. And you can see when I have had a red arrow, it's been a big red arrow. And I've had some small green arrows, and small green arrows means it's a high number, but you are still moving up the league, but not loads of places. So you can have a look. Yeah. So when I dropped to just over 1 million places, the following week I had a 58-point haul and a 1.4 million, 1.3 million game week ranking, and you can see how it affects my overall ranking. So I say overall it's been really good for me, and after last week I took another green arrow and it moved me up 20,000 places to the top 80k. So I clearly did have some differentials in there, and you can also see, sorry, on here the points left on the bench. And these last 2 weeks, the majority of those points have been Jamal Lascelles, which is really annoying. But overall, I've not done too badly. That first game week was Mbuemo. I left Mbuemo on the bench. Anyway, so yeah, this is the point I'm getting to. Your game week rank is what you should focus on more than your overall rank, especially if you're struggling at the moment. So the lower that number is, the more you see that progression in the league. and you can make big changes and small changes, or you can go along with a template. It depends how you want to play this game. I want to enjoy it, more than anything else. Also want to win my mini league. I'm happy, I'd be happy to finish where I am now overall, but especially with over 10 million, you can see here over 10 million total players. Now, obviously, a lot of those will be a percentage of those who aren't active, who aren't playing at all, who just set up their teams and left it. But there is a majority of them who are active. So I'd be happy finishing in the top 100k overall for my first serious season in about 10. So yeah, I'd be happy with that. I'd like to win our mini league, obviously, but if I look at the guys ahead of me, there's a good gap between me and the top two certainly. Let's just go back into it quickly. Yeah, so I'm on 885. Leader Harry Price is on 931, and Ben's on 922. So there's a big gap there. Let's just have a look and see how the others have been getting on. If there's anybody in particular who wants me to have a look at their team, just give me a shout out and I will give it a look once over and see if there's anything that can be done to help you. I do want to actually. Am I going to call him out every single stream? Crypto, you know what you did. You know what you did. I'm not going to call you out on this one, mate. I'll let you deal with it in your own way, but sort it out, mate. So overall, guys, I'm not going to make any changes this week. I don't think. I'm going to carry over this. Let me stop sharing that for a second. I think I'm going to carry over my transfer into game week 16. So I've got 2 transfers to play with and take it from there, because goalkeeper, I think, is the one that I want to do something with. I think I'm pretty happy everywhere else. And I also want to be looking ahead to plans for game week 18 for the blank game week for my Man City and Brentford players, and see what my options are. So I preferably want to have 2 free transfers going into that game week, or certainly going into game week 19 if I need to make any changes or bring any players back in. And then we've got to start thinking about AFCON and the Asian Cup, and how that's going to affect our teams, because obviously a lot of teams have got these big hitters in, like the Mo Salahs and Heung-min Sons, who will be going away for their respective tournaments for their respective nations. So it's definitely something we need to be planning ahead for. But guys, hope this comes out a little bit better and clearer than the live streams have. I do want to go back to the live streams, but we'll see how this goes. Hit the like button on the way out, guys. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will see you soon. Take care.